So what do you think? You think Q's gonna come and save us all, or what?
Yeah. Yeah, trust the sham.
Trust the sham.
Trust the sham. Yeah, how dare we deny, Q had it, Patriots holding the line the whole time, who are we to deny the white hats and government?
White hats.
Dude, yeah, I mean, they know, like, whoever's running that shit, and it's somebody, like, somebody's actually fucking around doing that. Do you think it really is, like, some high-level military psyop, or, like, who is it? Just, like, some, like, communist dude living in his grandma's basement, or, like, who is actually doing that shit, do you think? Or the Bolshevik thing. Have you heard of that Operation Sham, Operation Trust?
Yeah. No, if I had to put money on it, I would probably say that it is a psyop, like like a government thing, but it's not what people think. It's to keep people pacified, and it just goes to show, like, nothing happened. Now I know a lot of people are saying, like, oh, well, this is just the next step of the plan, and Biden wasn't inaugurated, or he was inaugurated to the corporation that is now defunct, or was resolved on the night of the inauguration, or before the inauguration. But I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I also did read something, and I don't know if this is true or not, but allegedly it is true that in Mar-a-Lago, where Trump lives now, right, there's like a whole secure room that's connected to the Pentagon and to the Situation Room at the White House. And so it's kind of a weird story. Apparently Mar-a-Lago originally belonged to the Post cereal family. Okay? And when, I guess, the daughter or granddaughter or whatever back in the 70s, she gave the house, donated it to the National Park Service. And then in 1985, Donald Trump bought that Mar-a-Lago from the government. And apparently this chick, before she sold it to the government, she wanted it to be used as a winter White House or a southern White House, and Trump has referred to it as that in the past. And it has apparently like this bunker that just like the other part of this is he apparently took the nuclear football to Mar-a-Lago with him instead of being there to like hand it off at the inauguration. Now, I did see somebody walk in there with the nuclear football, or allegedly like, here's the nuclear football for Biden. But who knows, if that's at least the theory or whatever, is like, who knows if that was actually a real one. And that's where all these theories are coming in, that like Trump is still in charge and he's just going to like make his move, which, I mean, it's total horseshit. Why wait? I don't understand why they're waiting if that was the case.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like moving the goalposts, like they've done, like how the COVIDians have done as well. It's just holding out just a blind faith in government and like a prophecy sort of thing. Like, if these people know, the social engineers, whoever's psyoping and fucking around, really knows how to tap into people's superstitions very well, or like their kind of right brain imbalances. It's like a religion government, and yeah, any partisanship is just a cult, really. It's sad to see, like we were saying before we went on. Some of these are very good, decent people, and you'd think are very smart, but holy shit, they just dedicated to the cult, though. Like,
100%.
Yeah, don't get us wrong. Yeah, we'd love to see this whole thing collapse. We'd love to see these people. I mean, I heard they were planning on arresting people on inauguration day and shit.
Oh yeah, that was the whole thing. I heard that too.
Yeah,
don't hold your breath.
Like, yeah, I guess. so the story goes, yeah, they were gonna arrest him, but then the deep state threatened to like kill a bunch of people if they did that. And
Trust the plan.
But I mean, dude, there's people that have been in military, like Jay Campbell's partner. He's doing this optimized tribe thing with. He's like some 35-year Navy SEAL guy. And, I mean, he's talking.
Yeah, that
about
big
all
bald dude that he talks to every now and again. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that dude's like all about it.
The plan,
So,
you're saying?
oh yeah, like the plan is in, like, yeah, like military's in charge, like Trump's still president, like.
Does he have any explanation on what they're waiting for or why they're waiting?
I mean, it's I guess the whole thing is like they don't want people, the deep state's threatening to do things back, like kill more people or start more wars if they get fucked with. I'd have to listen to it more, but it's hard to do it just when, we haven't seen anything go down yet.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'd love to see it as well too. Maybe somebody will finally get sick of it, but like as far as like a white hat whistleblower type. But I mean, maybe it's all the deep state. It's kind of like the all state. Like there's no real deep state. It's more like all of the government is a racket. We should really just give up our blind belief in it. I mean, it's become just a prophetic religion of sorts, and they know how to fuck with the right and the left just so well to keep believing government. Oh, it'll be different this time, or oh, like these are the good guys.
We'll vote them in next time.
Yeah, when it's all, I mean, controlled opposition, it's really that simple of divide and conquer, controlled opposition. I mean, they know how to tap into people's superstitions and shit. So it's just, yeah, it's sad to watch, but hopefully, I mean, if there's anything good, maybe we're one step closer to people dropping the partisan shit. Just, I don't know how it wasn't obvious Trump didn't sell everyone out, but maybe people will finally see that Kabbalah or Camel Toe and Sleepy Joe don't give a shit about them either, hopefully. But
speaking of Sleepy Joe, did you see that video of him? He walks up to two Marines. This is what, like, after the inauguration, and they were like driving around to the different places, and he walks up to two Marines, and allegedly, like, the only thing we can gather from it is in his earpiece, someone said salute the Marines, because he walks up to the Marines and just mumbles salute the Marines and doesn't salute him, and then just fucking walks past him.
Well, yeah, it's so obvious that he's I mean, yeah, is this guy like remote control drone or something? Like, is he even like real? Like, are they gonna give this guy enough children's blood to last through this year? Like, or
I don't know. I heard a weird theory with the gematria shit, that something about God, what is it, 59? I think is the number that's been, because isn't it this is the 59th inauguration of a president?
Okay.
So
I'm not totally sure.
It's either 56 or 59, but Kamala Harris is like 56, and if we waited 3 years till she was 59, and that's when they shove Biden out, something about like that's like the hat trick or whatever with all the numbers are saying. I think that she will be in sooner than that, because like we said, he's barely holding on. And like you said, I wonder, is he a clone robot something or another, or is he just so close to the end that they're just doping him up with anything they can to get him to stand there and say something?
Yeah, I have no idea. I saw him say something, signing one of these many executive orders. He was saying, back to that hot mic, or not hot mic, but thinking out loud shit he's doing. He was saying, I don't know what I'm signing. I don't know if you saw that one, but
yeah,
he gets a stack of shit. And he's like, I don't know what I'm signing. But I mean, yeah, these people did so bad. Like, did the actual Democratic base even like these people. I mean, we know they would vote for fucking Stalin or Mussolini or even Hitler if they ran as a Democrat. But
Mhm.
it's like, I mean,
Yeah, let's not forget
Kabbalah
that the Nazis were the National Socialist Party.
right. Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, like point being though, it's like I'm pretty sure everyone did better like in their primaries, like in the Democratic primaries. And I mean, the Batty Bernster, the Pocahontas, like all of them were much more popular than, I mean, yeah, Kabbalah, it was like bottom. Joe Biden was like mid-tier bottom. So I'm wondering why they even are going along with it. I mean, because I know Kamala was like one of the least popular, and now she's like might actually be president out of an affirmative action hire and like death of an old decrepit geriatric. She's going to by default win. Yeah, what kind of victory is that for your first black female president?
Yeah, the whole thing's nonsense. Judging, you know, you've seen those things with the YouTube downvotes and them removing downvotes for like this. There's no way that he got, let alone the ridiculous amount of votes they say he got.
Like 80 million.
Yeah, more than Obama got. Like, no way did that happen. But even so, I don't think he would have even gotten enough votes to win any other state than California and New York. I don't think the normal Democrat. Now, maybe I'm totally wrong. I just don't think that there are that many people that would have voted Biden in.
The way it perhaps was possible is if they made it so much easier with the mail-in voting. That's the one way I could make, and they just brainwashed the hell out of everyone. Vote, 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 vote. Everyone was saying vote, 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 and you know the sheep and plebs will just be like, yeah, I'm a good American citizen. And Trump bad.
That could be true because it's, you know, like they wouldn't normally go out and vote, but since they just got this thing in the mail, like, well, I'm gonna sign it and fill it and then send it in, and then you know, I voted. So yeah, I guess it very well could be. But I
mean, it's possible, and yeah, people didn't even. People,
but 80 million people.
Yeah, that's. I mean, our indication now is like you said, like these downvotes on the YouTube, the WhiteHouse.gov. I think was it their actual website or maybe it was their Instagram. I should look at that, but yeah, like all the comments were like, yeah, this is a clown show, joke, fraud. I got that. I don't know if you watched Jeff Rorick's last video, but I think he did something on that, showing a lot of that. But yeah, that's very, very, very suspicious for sure. Like, does anyone actually like this guy? I don't think he was. I mean, you can look at their social medias. Like, Trump has literally 10 times the amount of likes
until they canceled him. Now let's talk about something. I think this may go to Trump is not or was not necessarily in on the plan, but he was used as the jester, if you will. You know, he was used as the chaos agent without even knowing it. Because like we've talked about before, they could have just thought like, oh man, this guy is going to cause so much turmoil because he's a loose cannon. He says ridiculous shit. We can take different clips out of it and just make him sound like the fucking devil, right?
Yeah.
My point is, they are now, I've seen many news articles talking about how banks are no longer working with Donald Trump. Like shutting down his accounts and such. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means like, you know, Mr. Trump, we're going to need you to come in and take your sacks of cash someplace else. Or if they're just like, and it's gone. What does that mean that they shut down his accounts, you know? And is that right? Like, when has that ever happened? that
Yeah,
people
no.
refuse, that institutions like that refuse to do business with an outgoing president. Or really anyone,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you really have to do some shit for banks not to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, maybe that's just a kind of way to push the sort of the white conservative or the traditionalist kind of just out of society. I mean, maybe they're just making an example of him for what they want to do with anyone. I mean, just a guess, really. But I mean, Trump probably had some favors to pay back, though, with the banks with his presidency, I'm sure. I mean, we saw just about all the same kind of deep state shit happen, or this sort of big brother agenda, rich getting richer and debt and all the fucking Federal Reserve printing, everything happened the same. But shutting down his account, yeah, I don't really know. Maybe it's just because of terrorism, or whatever shit they'll come up with next.
It's just taking the cancel culture to the extreme. You're like canceling life at that point. And let me say, I'm not saying by any means that, like, Donald Trump is a perfect person, a white knight, or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if he's not in on it and they're just pulling this shit, like, that's fucked. That is some serious insider backdoor dealing. And I mean, set aside the canceling on social media, and then Parler. Let's talk about Parler a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just stop doing business with a person because, and the worst part about it, I don't think it has anything to do with far right, white supremacy, whatever they're talking about. Parler was spreading, which, yeah, I mean, it's a social media messaging system. I'm sure there was a whole bunch of nonsense on there.
Mm-hmm.
But you're basically like the companies that canceled Parler are going to make money now off of. I've heard a news story of them talking about this. Like, I think I'm not gonna say I don't know the guy. I'm not gonna say the wrong person's name, but there is a tech investor that was talking about now there's room for many more companies talking, like, on the left, that can come and that they can invest in to prop them up. So you're getting rid of competition before you're bringing in a new business that would take that company's profit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so just almost monopolistic. Like, oh no, we don't like this company, we're just going to shut them down. Everybody stop doing business with him because they're different than us and they're not putting out the narrative that we want. That's not a free and open society.
Well, yeah, it's obvious they've lost any real logical argument or anything, so they have to resort to censorship and disparaging and degradation, and it's not from the Who, so it must be fake news, or if it's not, but fascist fraud, she says that it's got to be fake news.
Well, okay, so that's another weird. Maybe we transition to that. You hear about the PCR test deal that they changed like an hour after Biden got inaugurated? That now there's a whole kinds of like false positives and whatnot.
Yeah, so they lowered the cycle threshold from what was the 35 or whatever that was down to where basically everything was testing. You could have like a 80-90% false positive test rate, and they've decided to just so by happenstance lower that down to normal levels or less bullshit numbers, if you can explain it better. Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah,
I saw that.
Basically saying now that if the COVID test is, or the PCR test, which is not actually supposed to be used as a test. It's a polymerase chain reaction that's supposed to amplify whatever genetic material you're looking for, and that's what the cycles are. is that every cycle is another magnification on that. So if you go high enough, you're going to find it regardless. And that's what they've been doing even throughout this whole thing in different states. When they wanted an outbreak to happen with more cases, then they upped the threshold. So everybody getting tested there starts to have like a crazy high percentage rate. But now they've said, oh, no, like we found out that this is not that accurate. Not only are they lowering the threshold, but they're also saying that you have to now get a clinical diagnosis of COVID before it's counted as COVID. So they just, like a switch, now there's going to be way less cases, and it's nothing changed. Just the way they report data changed.
Yeah, I've heard Clown News Network or CNN is actually taking down their case count off the screen too now all the time. So
well, now they can't sign it over to like this many people have been killed by Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now there's now it's all good. But yeah, you've got that on one end, but then you've got like Dracula man Biden himself saying like, "Oh, it's going to get much worse before it gets better." And
Biden Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, right. But yeah, he's saying, I mean, he's so like doom and gloom himself though too. I mean, I guess at least Trump would say like, yeah, it's going to be better. It's going to be, I mean, even if it really wasn't, maybe he actually wanted it to be, but.
And that was kind of a style of his, is he would say like, we're going to do this. This is going to happen. And it's almost like if you say that, then other like almost like things kind of fall into place. People, for one instance, I heard like he was talking about, you know, we had 2% growth, but you know what? Like we can get to 3%. I know that next quarter, like we can get to 3%. And then lo and behold, the next quarter there was 3% growth. So it's almost like he can't really make that happen, but because he makes the case for it, people feel better. Then like first, you know, like, oh, he's, you know, it's going to be better. So then they start spending money, and then, you know, the economy boosts up a little bit.
Yeah. He was a good hyper.
Yeah.
Good hype. Motivational. But yeah, or did you see Fascist Fraud? She said, I feel comfortable now the science can speak with the new administration. Like, so he's basically said a few times now that he was bullshitting, or how he changed the definition of herd immunity from like, you know, natural causes to now it's just only vaccination equals herd immunity. Or he would say things like people weren't ready for the truth at first, or like I couldn't really let the science speak under Trump, and so I couldn't be honest. And so it's, yeah, this guy's got to be one of the biggest scam artists, maybe even more so than most Democrat politicians. But like, yeah, like, god damn, if this guy would just go away, man, I think, yeah, everyone would be happier.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they roll with the story. Like, we can kind of predict things. Yeah, like maybe the vaccine will maybe get the credit for what the low PCR threshold is now doing.
I mean, whatever it is, they're going to use it to their advantage on saying, we did this. It's getting better now, even though there are many people dying from the vaccine, from having adverse reactions. I've heard most of it's like severe allergic reactions or immunosuppressive or immunocompromised diseases and whatnot that these people didn't have before. It's just ravaging their immune system is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Did you see that baseball player? What was that guy? That black baseball player? Maybe I sent it to you.
I saw a headline about it that he died, but I don't know any details.
Yeah, it's like Hank Aaron maybe or some shit. Yeah, we can look it up. Maybe we can post it later. But yeah, this 86-year-old, he wanted to make blacks feel more comfortable with getting the vax, and then he dies like a week or two later. And they're like, oh, nothing. Just must be a coincidence. And like, isn't that funny? Like, COVID was the cause of every death, and now people dropping like flies from the vaccine and like, it wasn't the vaccine though, like no correlation there. I mean, yeah, isn't that just obvious to anyone? But I don't know. It's a cult mentality. I mean, believe Big Brother and get baptized with their holy water and be it the vaccine. It's a weird fucking religious cult shit going on.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, it looks like you have is that Boomer Schumer talking about the erection over there?
Yeah, I do have that little clip. That's a funny one.
Yeah, that shit was funny. If you actually look at that, once he says erection, he's kind of like, "Oh fuck, I just said that."
Let me see if
That
I can
shit
get
was
this
pretty
one to
funny.
play. Oh yeah, it's always great to hear the little flubs.
Are trying to
Yeah, I mean,
There it is.
inciting an erection.
All right, let me throw that up on screen for the
Yeah,
you
watch
all
the
viewers
space.
there.
are trying to delay the inevitable. The fact is, the House will deliver the article of impeachment to the Senate. The Senate will conduct a trial
This guy's
of
got
the
to be
impeachment
like
of
one
Donald
of the
Trump.
worst public
It will be a
speakers
full
ever.
trial.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
just
It will be a fair trial.
slime ball.
But make no
Fucking
mistake,
guy.
there will be a trial, and
The
when that
slime
trial
ball
ends,
is a
senators
perfect
will
way to
have to
describe him.
decide if they
I
believe
mean,
Donald John
has he
Trump
ever worked
incited
in the
the
real
erection.
world? I mean,
Oh,
most of
hold
these
on.
Democrats have.
We talked over it. Let me back it up a little bit.
Oh shit! Whoops. Yeah, I can't even hear it coming out. Maybe
Insurrection.
as long as everyone else can, that's cool.
Insurrection against.
Oh damn it! Where'd it go?
They believe Donald John Trump incited the insurrection.
Incited the erection. Yeah, that little head shake. Like, oh man,
Yeah,
I just said erection.
He's like, yeah, it's like they're gonna meme the fuck out of this.
Already knew it. Man, that's the internet these days.
Yeah, he was like, oh shit, that's. Well, at least he's funnier than his niece, Amy Schumer.
Is that his niece? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
they are actually. Yeah, I'm 98% sure. I've heard it multiple times, but
Sweet baby Jesus.
yeah,
it explains a lot for sure.
right. Oh god, she's awful, but yeah, at least that was funnier than any of her stand-up. God, she's terrible.
Pretty awful. She's pretty fucking
But
awful.
yeah, that was just, she's like Miss Piggy, fucking feminist. Every joke is about her stinking vagina. God, yeah, let's change that subject.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, anyway, I mean, on some level though, to Hugh's point, I mean, it's like you do have to have the popcorn, I guess. Like some of the shit, I mean, at least we'll get to see like Biden probably shit himself on TV and just go totally senile. Like it's kind of all like a joke here. It's more comedy than horror I'm holding out for.
Yeah. I've got a 4-minute news story on that Hank Aaron, if you want me to roll it.
Oh, that was his name, huh? Okay. Yeah, they're gonna act like it was he just happened to die. Huh? Nothing to do with the vaccine.
Hold on. Back it up 10 seconds.
We have some breaking news in the world of sports. Legendary outfielder Hank Aaron has died. He was 86. Hammerin' Hank slipped away peacefully in his sleep. Hank Aaron was an icon of the game of baseball with a career that spanned 23 years. He famously broke Babe Ruth's record of 714 home runs back in 1974. It was a record that he held for more than 30 years. He retired in 1976 with a career total of 755 home runs. Hank Aaron made his major league debut at the age of 20, and he started his career, like so many others back then, in the Negro Leagues. I had the great honor of interviewing Hank Aaron for the Today Show in early 2020. Hank Aaron is widely considered one of the greatest to ever play the game. But before he donned that famous Braves uniform, he took the field for the Indianapolis Clowns of the Negro League, leaving his Alabama
I wonder if they
home
say anything
in the
about
early
the COVID
50s.
vaccine in here.
I remember so
I
well
guarantee you they won't.
my
Especially if this
first
is
year
MSNBC.
that I left Mobile, Alabama. One little coat, $2.50 in my pocket, and my mother told me that was all she had to give me, and be very careful with it.
What was it like playing for the Indianapolis Clowns?
To play in that league and to play with the ball players that I played with gave me an opportunity to do some things that I wanted to do.
Is it true that there was perhaps more talent in the Negro Leagues back then than there was in Major League Baseball?
I would not doubt it one bit. There was so much talent.
Though thousands of fans came to their games, the Negro League players were not treated equally. Roadside restaurants banned blacks in their dining rooms. Gas stations closed restrooms, and white hotels shut their doors. In 1947, Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color barrier. Was there any pressure on guys like you to stay in the Negro League?
Yes, it was. Pressure from the players that you played with was telling you that you can't make it. You would never make it.
Hank Aaron did make it, debuting for the Milwaukee Braves in 1954. Though he made 25 All-Star teams, Aaron continually faced obstacles white players did not, including death threats while approaching Babe Ruth's career home run record. I was surprised to read in what should have been the most exciting period of your life. You're chasing Babe Ruth's record. It wasn't.
It was not.
Why not?
I couldn't go out of the ballpark without an escort. I had to stay in another hotel rather than...
Okay, I'm going to come through this and see if
First.
they say anything. Have they said anything so far about how he died?
It sounded like they said peacefully in his sleep just on here.
That
I mean,
doesn't give
it just
any
so happened to
indication.
be like a
what,
week
fucking
or
heart
two
attack?
after. Yeah, it just so happened to be a week or two after he took his vaccine.
That's ever played.
I gotcha. Huh. I thought that would talk a little bit more about
But
it.
yeah, of course, yeah, MSNPC will not mention any of that,
Nope.
being they're beholden to the Rockefeller pharmaceutical industry as well.
I just found a clip of some dude named... Do you know who Luke Johnson is?
Not offhand, no.
No, some dude, it says Luke Johnson speaks truth on the BBC, talking about the coronavirus.
On BBC.
Yeah, let's see what they have to say. Da, 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 da.
I mean, if it's on BBC.
How many people who have no other morbidities under the age of 60 have died from this illness?
Who have no other morbidities?
Yeah.
Because I can tell you how many people under 65 have died. And obviously some
Under
of those with
60,
other
no other
morbidities may well have
morbidities.
survived. A morbidity doesn't mean you're...
350. You're more likely to drown. There's 400 people a year that drown, right? So I think we have to get things a bit in context.
What comfort would that offer to the families of those who've lost
Every
loved ones?
death is tragic, but believe me, we're already in the largest recession for 300 years. In fact, it's not just one recession. The Bank of England have said the economy will shrink by 14%. That's the equivalent of 2 recessions. It's a depression. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have 2 million more unemployed.
Just a point on that, as far as the recession, depression, whatever. I do think that like in another year and a half, that's when we're really going to see the effects from what happened over 2020. and up till now, because it takes time. There's a lag there, you know. Just like in like there was a crash or whatever, the 2008 thing. It really didn't get that bad until like 2009, 2010. That's when all the foreclosures really started hitting, and now I'm kind of worried about that.
Yeah, do you think they'll be able to just print?
Do what?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was just, go ahead and finish. This guy's looks like it's only a few.
Oh, yeah.
In a
only
year.
A few more seconds.
Imagine the agony of 2 million more unemployed people. How many deaths might flow from that? How many deaths are flowing from the fact that we've got half as many A&E appointments at the moment? Cancer patients not being seen, people with heart disease not being seen. And the collateral damage of this campaign of fear and lockdown has to be taken into account. Very soon, I believe lockdown will be causing more deaths than the virus.
That's a
that
fact.
actually was truth. Yeah, that was surprising truth on mainstream TV.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, do you think the Bozo Biden will be able to print enough money, or with I guess Janet Yellen's back as Secretary of Treasury or something?
I saw that. That's always special.
Yeah, but how much money are they going to have to print to even prop up this shit anymore? I mean, it's it is going to be interesting next year. This year should be very interesting as well. I mean, if you're in the right place, maybe you can really bank on it if you're in the right industry, and if you're in maybe crypto, which is kind of suspect as well. With one of those videos I sent you from that gematria dude was very weird, different topic, but anyway, will they be able to prop up this house of cards for even a whole year? I mean,
I heard something on this before. This was, I don't know, later last year, November, something like that. But number one, they have to inject $4 trillion into the economy per year in order to keep this bubble going.
wow.
Secondly, it does seem like, I think that they are. They're just going to start printing a whole bunch of money. But that's why I'm saying for a short term, it's going to seem like it's getting better. But in another year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, something like that, it's going to crash, and it is going to be horrific. So in a good news kind of way, I think there's still some time for people to get prepared that are not prepared for something like that. But it is coming. There's no way that this house of cards can continue the way that it is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And I guess I was wrong too, because I thought they would use Trump as the fall guy, or see what Trump did, see what capitalism bad, free market bad, like, even though he wasn't capitalist free market. But I mean, I was of the idea that that's how they would play it, would be like, see what Trump did. Maybe they'll still try to blame him too. I'm sure it'll never be like the Democrats or like regulations fault, but maybe that's some good, is it'll be like, if it all does shit the bed, I guess, under Democrats controlling everything, maybe that can be some end to partisanship as well. But I mean, that's really, I don't want people to think Republicans good or anything. It's just like, we need to drop all the partisan bullshit. But maybe could be a good wake-up call, at least, if maybe it's better to shit the bed under the demo rats than the Republicans. I don't know.
I think they may still be able to blame it on him.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll go for that. Of course, I'm sure they'll go for that. But it'll be interesting to see. But I mean, get out of the system as much as you can.
Oh yeah, look into cryptocurrencies, particularly Monero.
Yes. Yeah, keep it off the books there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do.
And I've heard, I was talking to a dude in the chat the other day about, like, the SEC is apparently going to start coming after Monero. And, like, my whole point is, like, well, I mean, that should tell you that it's, like, that's exactly what you should be looking at. If the SEC, if the commission, the people that are trying to, regulate all this stuff, is saying like, no, we can't do that one. It's like, yeah, it's because they can't regulate it. They can't take control of it. Whereas with Bitcoin, there has been kind of a centralization of the mining heavily in China. Because number one, China is where they manufacture the ASIC miners. Number two, China has artificially low power rates, so they're not spending a whole bunch on power to mine the stuff. And then it kind of becomes centralized like that. But it's coming. Like, if the digital currency is coming no matter what. They are going cashless. They've already set up accounts in people's names for the digital dollar. I'm pretty sure they're calling it FedCoin, but I might be wrong. But it's coming. So instead of waiting for them to force you onto the digital system, why don't you become a digital nomad in the first place, or before they force you, with cryptocurrencies? And then it's decentralized. Your money's safe. They can't do anything with it. But Bitcoin is traceable. Bitcoin is trackable. They can look in your account. Same thing with Ethereum. Just do some research on it and pick your level of anonymity.
Right. Yeah, Bitcoin is an interesting one, being that maybe somebody really is fucking around with it as far as like the whole elite priest class, whoever the hell's. Like, what was it, like a 21% drop on the 21st day of the 21st year and the 21st century? Like, just weird shit like that happening. Like,
I wonder that with the whole like gematria thing, right? Like, is it like a chicken or the egg thing, right? Is somebody messing with it and like pushing the button so it happens on the 21st, or is it just happening in the, I call it the quantum realm or whatever, that just like, the 21s are lining up, boom, Bitcoin down 21%, like that.
It's like,
connects.
Is it already coded in the simulation, or are they, like, who's the architect of such?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, great question though, for sure. I mean, more trustworthy. It can't be any worse than the dollar, I guess. I mean, they try to say there's so much crime that happens with crypto, but it's like, no, more crime happens with dollars than anything.
I was watching a fantastic video. I'm pretty sure it's the Stanberry Research channel, but they were talking about that, how there is, like, I think 0.4% of the transactions on Bitcoin are used for nefarious or illegal purposes. Whereas like $4 trillion a year or something like that is in cash is used for illegal purposes. Because again,
sounds like the government themselves. That sounds like the Fed criminals.
For sure. For sure. Banks in general.
Yeah, the real terrorists and criminals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. But they and the reason that the illegal activity has gone down on Bitcoin is because the criminals realized it can be traced. It is on a blockchain ledger that can't go anywhere. Like, it's there. All your transactions, where it's going, who gave it to you, each coin's basically got a serial number on it. It's traceable. So it's very clean in a way. Unlike Monero, which is like, one Monero is just like an ounce of silver. There's no defining characteristics that can tell one Monero from another Monero, which is why it's awesome.
Right. Well, yeah, I think the tighter they grip down, I mean, the more people will slip through the fingers. And I mean, most people in crypto happen to be the kind of privacy rights type of libertine people, at least. So
yep.
I mean, we'll kind of follow that herd. Maybe society can sort of split into the controlled and the slaves and the free. I mean, I'm hoping as they tighten down, more people can sort of wake up to all of this shit. But man, I don't know how people were really happy that Biden won, though. Still, that was like, God, maybe
blows your mind.
Right. Yeah, maybe all hope is lost. But no, I mean, I guess, I get that they hated Trump bad, but it's like, do you really think there's going to be any real change with there was no change with Trump. Like there was no, like the same shit happened. I mean, I guess at least there was like no new wars, and they did up like the drone bombing and shit in the existing wars, but nothing really changed. I mean,
No. I mean,
now
we
it's
printed more money in 2020 than we did in the first 200 years of this country's existence.
yeah, isn't it like 30% of all cash in existence was like this year or last year?
Yeah, so it's something just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And yeah, we've known this even before the COVID scamdemic. We knew there was going to be some kind of crisis crash. Like this was just unsustainable. But I mean, what a perfect cover up for their own asses, though. Like, yeah, we thought they'd do something else, maybe a different war, or I don't know, maybe just blame Trump or something, or capitalism bad. But yeah, they came out with a whole fucking shamdemic to cover their asses, really.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, amazing shit. But yeah, hopefully more people wake up. Like I think we've said before, it took years for people to catch on to other things like 9/11. At least, I mean, it took days for people to catch on to this one. I think more people were suspicious right from the get-go. I personally knew from day one that, oh, this is the next big sham.
Yep. No doubt.
Yeah, and hopefully, yeah, more and more people come around to it. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see really what happens. Do you think?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh no, I was just saying. Do you think they will try to actually microchip people and get this, make that the actual crypto as well, or the sort of currency as your body activity? There's something of Bill Gates' patent of the sort, the 666 patent. Do you think that will be initiated or rolled out soon?
You know, I think it depends, because I was thinking about that. There's gonna have to be like a new strain or another like massive, people dying, or another big scare for people to put something like that in their arm, which I think they're already setting it up for, like, oh, we got this vaccine out in 9 months, but it's not fucking working, like a new strain has come up. We need to do something different. And now the only way is for this, nanotechnology, whatever they're going to say, this implantable chip that, then they can just basically do a firmware update that'll then release the new strain antibodies into your system or some nonsense, right?
Right.
I think it'll go something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the scare's kind of worn off, I think. I mean, I don't think you can honestly be that. Some people are honestly that scared, I'm sure. But yeah, I think now the COVIDians are just like part of the cult. It's kind of just like Tim Osmond says, it's just like sin for religious people. It's this is how they control the sort of liberal or secularist type, with scientism and sin and climate change, all that shit. A whole nother topic there. But yeah, they'll have to come up with a new scare. But yeah, they might say, well, this chip, this detects any virus ahead of time, or
right.
Maybe they'll come up with something like that. I've heard some people say that the reason they're keeping these vaccines 70 below is because they're actually part of some nanochip technology already. I don't know if you've heard that, but
I have not, but again, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm like maybe, like, why does it have to be? When have you ever heard of a vaccine having to be kept 70 below? I mean, I've never looked into that personally with other ones, but it sounds like that's a whole new thing.
Right, yeah, and that's like, obviously I'm not a vaccine expert or whatever, but from what I have heard from listening to the experts, is that's never been an issue before. Because that's the thing, usually like vaccines, any clinic or whatever can give out the vaccine, but not every clinic has these refrigeration capabilities, and that's why it started coming out. Like, Walgreens is not going to be able to have this this freeze whatever. Now, here's the thing. I did hear, though, Johnson & Johnson is still in development of a, traditional vaccine. So
a one dose, yeah.
Yeah, one that's not the RNA, whatever. It's just like, a little snippet of virus or, the basic vaccine stuff that we're sold. Now, does it have a whole bunch of nonsense in it? Could be. But I would definitely trust just your good old regular vaccine that has been, been around for a good long while. That at least the effects are very slow and mild and don't affect you until old age and instead of killing you 2 weeks after you receive it.
Right. So is that right then? They've actually got some of the virus in the Johnson & Johnson one? Is that what
that's what they're claiming. Now, they haven't come out with it yet. They haven't. They're not even, I don't think they're even like, looking at emergency authorization or whatever. But I know that it is a more classical vaccine. It's not the mRNA vaccine that now that's the thing is I've seen stories saying that they have been able to isolate the virus, and I've seen stories that say they haven't been able to isolate the virus. The ones that say they haven't been able to isolate the virus are saying how they're getting away with saying that they have isolated the virus is because they took a small piece of the virus, fed that into a supercomputer, and then the supercomputer spit out the rest of the gene sequence of the virus. I'm no, expert, again, on anything like that, but that sounds a little fishy. Like, how can you... That's some serious artificial intelligence right there, to be able to take a small snippet of DNA or virus makeup or whatever, and then all of a sudden saying, like, oh, yeah, just from that little piece, it synthesized the rest of the genetic makeup of the virus. I don't buy that. I think that sounds like horseshit.
Right. Well, I mean, who actually believes in the bat soup story anymore, too?
That went away pretty quick, actually.
Yeah, it did. Like, why did that go away so quick? And why aren't the actual origins being questioned anymore? And people are just, no, give me the vaccine, give me the vaccine. Like, some people really are, like, piling up to get it, and they've never gotten a straight story. And it's just unfucking believable to me. When... Yeah, it's obvious to us that, like, yeah, this was obviously manufactured somehow. You can look into, the Wuhan lab and how they stomped anyone speaking out against that. An actual Chinese virologist got stomped out for talking about that, saying how they did that, and how we were actually studying how coronaviruses can jump from animals to humans in the U.S., and then then obviously it was raising concerns, getting shady, so they moved it to China. That's the most likely story. I mean, fascist fraud chief predicting it in 2017. Kill Gates predicting it. Those two are in cahoots together.
Event 201.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, Event 201 was the obvious jam. John Hopkins was in on that. Kill Gates, of course. Killing Melinda Gates. And I mean, what better way to control a population? I mean, you got to give it to him that, that's like, that was a good sham to run on the sheep, really. Like, that was a good sham to run.
I mean, it's amazing how well it worked for him.
Yeah, I mean, they got away with so much bullshit doing that. I mean, really, all of the environmentalist agenda they got to, like, because no one was really like, we're not going to lock down for fucking climate change, but scare people with the COVID.
That's the whole premise behind the Build Back Better. And, even Trudeau in Canada saying we have a opportunity, or this pandemic has presented an opportunity in order for us to accelerate our goals to stop climate change. Like, how the hell does a virus at all equate to you furthering an agenda with climate change? Like, just because you said it doesn't mean it's real.
Well, yeah, it's the bullshit they can pull off with people of, you shouldn't travel, or you shouldn't go outside, and you should just like stay in front of your computer all day, not go anywhere. And yeah, eventually we'll move you to Mars or something, which will probably just be some fucking FEMA camp in China where you maybe think it's Mars, so you just don't go outside ever. But yeah, that's a whole nother. That's maybe where Elon Musk is actually part of the whole club there.
Yep. I've heard the theories even that Elon Musk is what's Satoshi Nakamoto or whatever, the guy that, or the pseudonym that created Bitcoin.
Oh, that he's the same guy, supposedly?
Yeah, like that Elon Musk created Bitcoin. Which, I mean, no, I don't. There's no evidence, but yeah, exactly. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that was the case.
Right.
But I still wonder what happens when the Bitcoin algorithm is solved, when all the Bitcoins have been mined. What's that solving? Does it work like that? Can somebody please tell me?
Yeah, then the Great Awakening finally pops off.
Yeah, the Kraken comes out of the sky. Some Lovecraftian Leviathan.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, that's another one. I wonder what CERN's up to these days, too, the whole quantum computer people.
I'll have to look into that, honestly, because over the past year, who the hell has been looking into that? It's just been COVID.
Yeah, I went even more into the shadows, yeah. So, yeah, CERN says, or Jordy Rose, yeah, that was his name, who's the big finance guy for the quantum computer.
Yeah.
Says that they actually want to take over all the jobs with robots, and then he actually says they want to summon some HP Lovecraftian motherfuckers to Earth.
I think the quote was a tsunami of demons.
Yeah, you can go see, Jordy Rose from CERN talk about this shit. Maybe it's still on YouTube. You might have to.
I'm sure it's Jordy Rose with D-Wave computers.
D-Wave, yeah.
The quantum computers.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting world. How much longer do you think humans will have regular jobs? Like how long until we're all just fucking plebs that own nothing?
2030, bro. Happy? That's the plan. In 2030, you'll own nothing and love it.
Yeah, according to Satan Klaus Schwab. But yeah, I think by 2025, I mean, are most people even going to be working then, or is it going to be robots by then, or is there even going to be a population by then too? Like Deagle says, like a third of people or 2/3 of people will be gone.
So many possibilities, and it's, all of them are kind of terrifying.
Right. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, maybe we're going into the I Am Legend phase now since people are getting vaccinated. Maybe the actual zombie apocalypse will happen now. Maybe maybe we'll see the zombies come out and just eliminate the rest of the people. Maybe it'll be a real survival of the fittest shit coming up.
Yeah.
But here's the cult leader.
Yeah, let me show that. So on Quite Frankly the other day, he had his Matt on, and he said, like, have you heard of Klaus Schwab? He's like, oh, who's that? And he threw this picture up, and the dude Matt's like, why the fuck is he dressed like a Sith?
Yeah.
Really, and that's a valid question.
Yeah, like, if you don't think these people are into weird fucking shit, like, look at this guy. And the World Economic Forum pretty blatantly puts 666 in their logo.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the Build Back Better with the lowercase b's. It looks pretty 666. I mean, yeah, this guy looks like Dr. fucking Evil.
What is this lapel patch thing he's got going on here? Can you? I'm not able to make it, but it looks like almost like a little. Maybe that's I don't know, like a head with some horns or something like that, and then there's like the Tree of Life or some shit going on here. I don't know, but again, why? This guy, the head of the World Economic Forum, like he's on conference calls with the heads of the biggest corporations in the world, dictating like what the fucking plan is gonna be. It's like, who the hell is this guy? This unelected official dictating world policy for? But that is what's happening. Please, people, look into Klaus Schwab and his whatever it is he's trying to do here. Agenda 2030 nonsense.
Yeah, the problem with researching it is these people are so fucking terribly boring and just monotonous. And
Terribly
this guy,
boring.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just awful to listen to. But yeah, look at these people and like tell me they're not in some fucked up cult, really.
For real.
And it's all out in the, it's so out in the open. You can call it a conspiracy theory all you want, but yeah, these people have their plans out right in front of us.
Yep, 100%. But they kind of that going to the like the karmic side of things, that they have to put it out there so they don't have that negative karma blowback on them, and then it's just like, well, you were too stupid to see that what we were saying.
Yeah, that's kind of part of Hollywood's game as well too. And yeah, Hollywood is actually from a holly tree, which what they make magic wands with, an actual Hollywood. And yeah, I think they're kind of casting their spells out with that shit as well too, and people go live it up, laugh it up, and and just get programmed for what their ideas are. Most movies are filtered to the CIA and Department of Offense or Department of Defense.
I was listening to a Crow podcast that was talking about that there's like apparently the very last people that see the movie before or do something with the movie before it gets released is the, whatever MK Ultra led to, and they insert those, those frames or whatever, lace them in to the movie for the mind control. Which this may sound crazy to some people that might just be stumbling upon this, but if you look into it, there are patents for mind control through screens and different frequencies, not to mention that there are, psychological studies done to see what different colors and how, like if they just flash something on the screen for one cycle, which I don't know if this is getting too technical, but generally speaking, your TV is refreshing at either 30 or 60 hertz, which means it's refreshing the picture 30 to 60 times per second. Now, you seeing it through your eyes, you're not going to notice if one out of those 29 or one out of those 60 frames says something, even something like obey or, buy this or whatever it is, just one frame laced in there. However, your brain sees all of those. And it actually processes it in your mind. So they'll slip stuff in there subliminally, and you won't notice it, but it is there, and it will affect you.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, I can believe it. I mean, I think most of the mind control maybe isn't as much physical, but yeah, there are the patents out there. But yeah, I mean, all they have to do is influence us with society and culture, and reality TV, and fucking government, and all of the political bullshit. But yeah, it's coming at us from all angles, really, and people should notice it by now. I would hope they would. But yeah, it's really like a war on for the mind, like, and InfoWars is crazy that they are or can be kind of put the right terms out there. Like, I mean, it is an info war. There is a war on for mind. But yeah, that's what we're doing here, is trying to make people realize, it's all bullshit. We don't need any of this shit.
Nope.
And we can be much better without authority. And everyone in all the partisan cults should just realize it's so much better without any of them.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see that in the years to come. But
and if this is, if any of this is resonating with you, any of our previous or future episodes are resonating with you, please start looking into this stuff, and even start your own deal. Start putting this out to the people that you know in the best way that you can, because just that, I think Mark Passio was the one that really got me on this, is even if you feel like you are talking about the same thing that several other people or many other people, or you think it's been talked about before, you talking about it could explain it in a different way to make somebody else accept it or realize it, you know, because like some people, like I think I might come off a little bit abrasive when talking about some of these things, but you know, some people might have a little bit more finesse or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
So,
well, there's not much time to even like pussyfoot or pepper dick with
I mean,
a
that's
lot
true.
of this shit, anyways.
Shit or get off the pot, right?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. Speaking of like karmic consequence and shit, that's why like we're putting it out there because it's like, I mean, we've become privy to much of this, so it's like we have to as well. But yeah, it's like, do you want to be a slave or not? Like, yeah, it's gonna hurt a little bit to wake up. You know, your eyes will hurt when you use them for the first time, but I mean, we have a chance to really make our own, like a greater reset. Like, yeah, fuck these people. Like, we could make our own people's reset without them.
Yep.
And I mean, nothing's going back to normal no matter what. So yeah, we might as well.
When have you ever known the government to give back power that they have been given or taken, depending on how you look at it?
Yeah, they're not gonna be like, well, maybe they will. Maybe they'll kind of do like a release and pull sort of thing. Especially now that, yeah, Bozo, Beijing, Biden, whatever his name is, maybe they'll say like he cured the COVIDs with his mandatory mask order or something.
Yeah, the 100 days masks.
Yeah, oh god, that shit is retarded. Like, like that's gonna do everything. He actually said that would be better than a vaccine, I heard. Which is like, okay,
is that what your earpiece told you?
What's that?
Is that what the earpiece, the dude talking in your head?
Yes. Did you see that? I think Babylon B had a headline that was like, Biden says like people are speaking in his brain or some shit. It was funny. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we have a real chance to just, I mean, stop being slaves. Like, maybe we can just break out of this whole monetary system and just do whatever we want soon. Like, hopefully.
And I'd like
maybe
to.
That's the goal.
Yeah, I'd like to say this. A lot of people, especially when you first start waking up, it seems very overwhelming. And it's really like, what can I do? Like, all of this is going on at the highest levels. What can I do? Right? And there are things that you can do, okay, in your life. And it's different for everyone. There's no way for me or anyone else to give you a plan on what to do. But anything that you can do to stop participating in the system. Anything you can, just even, like, not even, obviously it's not going to be overnight, it's not going to be fully, but whatever you can do, even if it's as small as starting a little garden in your backyard, so that way you're not as reliant on the supermarket, you know? Just start with little things, whatever little things you can. Maybe it's getting a couple of solar panels, maybe, whatever it is. Start getting off the cryptocurrency, a big one. Start putting your money into different crypto. Now do research on it. Don't just throw money at it. You know, that's not good and we're not giving any sort of financial advice. Let me just put that out there. A little disclaimer. No financial advice going on here, okay? We're just talking about what we do and what we think will get us through this situation. So nothing more than that. But it's a way. That's a decentralized currency, way to spend money. And it's already coming. You start talking to like small business, or maybe, you know, if you're passionate about this, go into your local bar or store or whatever it is and say like, hey, have you ever thought about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, accepting? I'd like to pay you in this because it's a much better and easier way to do it, you know? And just start spreading it. And then once we have all sold our dollars for cryptocurrency and nobody's using dollars anymore, what are they going to do? The system is gone at that point. If you eject from the system, they have no control. So that's the main thing. There doesn't necessarily have to be an overthrow or anything like that. Just stop using the system. And what are they going to do?
Yeah, stop believing in authority altogether.
Yes.
It's really like a revolution in the mind. And yeah, it doesn't even need to be. yeah, like maybe we've mentioned on previous shows, and something like Larkin Rose had said was like, yeah, violent revolution is like, doesn't even make sense if you still believe in government. Like,
Right.
if you're gonna have a revolution just to have another government, then there's no at 0 point to that.
You're
But yeah,
trading
we
one
need to
slave
realize,
owner for the other.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, nothing in nature inherently gives certain people rights or rulership or ownership of other human beings. And I mean, it should be simple, you'd think, but man, we've been brainwashed so hard from early age, and all our parents in school, and yeah, everyone just say, yeah, do what they tell you, do what they tell you. When and
Submit
people
to
want
authority.
to control, yeah, yeah, exactly. People want to control others for some reason. But no, yeah, like a lot of this shit, like get off the system, like stop acquiescing, like
Yes.
don't
Take
wear
action.
the mask anymore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't be afraid. I mean, you're here to be brave and stand up for what's right.
Yep.
So yeah, stop being a slave and stop enslaving others. And yeah, we could really make the world so much better like that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely right.
Yes, indeed. Maybe a good place to ripper.
Yeah, I think so. This is the Super Heavy Galactic Stuff podcast, and if you're looking to support us or send us some messages, you can always send us some stuff. We'd love to hear from you at shgs@protonmail.com. I'm gonna start putting some cryptocurrency donation addresses in the link as well, or in the description as well. So if you feel like supporting in the cryptocurrency realm, so we can continue to do this, that'd be great. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on the Insta. Isaac Clark is full name. You can probably find me. It'll look like me on there. I guess you don't really need to. Yeah, you could message me there if you want to. Yeah, if there's people actually out there that want to get in touch with us. And yeah, I'm sure we'll come up with more content and shit to share as we go on. So
yeah, if there's anything else you want us to get into, let us know. Anything you're questioning or would like us to do some research on.
Sweet.
Well, I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna leave you all with the national debt clock that just keeps on rising. Look how fast that goes up.
Yeah, more reason to buy. Yeah, not just crypto, gold, silver. Don't even say, yeah, this is why you don't save your dollars, because the more they print, the less our shit is worth.
That's right. Well, everybody,
Sweet.
y'all take her easy.
Yeah. Peace. Yeah, my shit is about dead, so I've got some juice, but